Welcome to the AACFB's 2021 Meet the Funder Associate Webinar Series. My name is Monica Harper. I'm the Executive Director of the AACFB, and I am your host today. Our presenter today is Christy Darlington from instaCOVER. instaCOVER is both an associate member and a gold sponsor of the AACFB, and I'd like to thank them for their support. Before I introduce instaCOVER, I'd like to go over a few items to make this webinar more enjoyable and informative for everyone. During the presentation, you should see a Q&A box that will allow you to ask questions. If you have any questions during the presentation, please submit your questions in the box and they will be answered by the webinar. It should last about 30 to 45 minutes. And for those of you who would like to go and review the webinar at a later date, it will be posted on the 2021 Meet the Funder /associate page of the website and will be emailed out to AACFB membership. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Christy. Christy, it's all yours.
Thank you, Monica. I appreciate it. And welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I just, love doing this presentation and introducing everybody to the instaCOVER program. Just kind of a little background on instaCOVER before we get started. We have been, in the business now for probably going on 13, 14 years. We are underwritten by Great American. And Great American, as you know, is the insurance company that's located in Cincinnati, Ohio. They are a Fortune 500 company, so they're a very large company. And we are also a technology company because our program is basically your online entering the information to get insurance quotes and certificates. So basically, just a little background on the program. We basically assist all kinds of leasing financiers, brokers, financial institution, manufacturers, lessees, funders, whoever, when they need insurance immediately. That's why this program was developed, because we kept hearing the frustration people had when they wanted to fund a deal right away, and it took forever to get an insurance certificate. It could take up to a week, and that could basically kill the deal. And so this is basically like a point of sale. You can enter your asset value and get a quote immediately and a certificate right from your desktop within 5 minutes. So what we cover is we cover all types of equipment, basically, anything from construction to medical, manufacturing. We now do titled trucks and trailers. Basically everything we will insure, except for there's a few that we won't, one of them being logging. I know logging is a tough one, but unfortunately, because it's located in the deep forest and it's really hard to recover the equipment, Great American will not do logging, so logging is excluded. The other one would be watercraft. And then one that's kind of up and coming, but we don't, because it's high risk, is drones. So we get a lot of people asking about drones, but because it's such high risk, with them flying and crashing and that kind of stuff, they will not do that. But other than that, pretty much everything else is insurable. So what we offer on peril-wise, meaning what is covered under our program, is the number one thing that is covered that a lot of times is excluded, especially in the states down south because of hurricanes and flooding, is flood. So I know a lot of times people ask if flood is included because it is excluded most likely on their existing policy. A lot of times you have to pay extra for that. It's kind of like us up here in the Pacific Northwest with earthquake insurance. If we want earthquake insurance, we have to pay for it. It's extra. So, but on this, flood is covered, and power surge, theft, burglary, falling objects, fire, lightning, transit, vandalism, tornado, hurricane. That's another one, a big one, that is automatically covered. And then wind. So pretty much, everything except for employee theft, operator error, which is, that's obvious. We don't provide mechanical breakdown, which means, like if you're operating a machine and it just breaks down and stops working, that's not covered. So everything else pretty much is, including the flood. So again, like I said, it's basically our tagline is instant insurance solutions, because we were, developed this to expedite the funding process, and it's no cost to the brokers or lenders. It's a free platform, to use. We just give you a username and login, and you're free to use it at no charge. And then you do earn a fee income for we call it a marketing fee is what it's called. And you earn a marketing fee on every active deal for the term of the lease. So I will go over that a little bit later as to how that works. So there's two ways to earn a marketing fee. The first way is what it's based off of is it's based off of the asset value. So, and the insurance premium. So if the insurance premium is less than $35 a month, you actually earn a one-time lump sum. And that lump sum is determined based off of the lease term. So if it's like a 12-month term, you would earn a one-time lump sum of $75. If it's a 60-month term, you'd earn a one-time lump sum of $150. So, but anything over $35 premium is what you see on the screen. It's a marketing fee that you earn per month for the term of the lease. And again, it's based off of the value. So anything, less than $37,000, you'd earn $8 per month for the term of the lease. So if it's a 48-month term, you're earning $384. If it's over $35,000, you're earning anywhere between $10 and $12 per month for the term of the lease. So let's say it's a $50,000 Bobcat and you're doing it for 60 months. Then it would be $10 per month for 60 months. So you're earning $600. We pay out quarterly. We do automatic deposit. You provide us with your ACH information, and we can do automatic deposits or mail checks, but they're mailed out. We process those on a quarterly basis. This just kind of explains the lump sum. As you can see, again, what I said, if it's I said less than $35, but it's actually less than $37.99 if that's the premium. This is the lump sum, how it works. But if anybody has questions on that, I can send them the information. But anything that's less than $37.99, so basically under $38, is a one-time lump sum. Everything over that premium would be monthly. So we provide the support, we provide the technology, we provide the training, and we do all the billing and collecting. So once you enter the information to purchase the coverage, we take it from there. So we do, it's usually automatic on a credit card or a bank account. We can do, send out invoices, not monthly, but we can do quarterly, semi-annual, and annual invoices. We do all of the, if we can't, for some reason, their credit card expires, we will notify them via letter and email. If it's declined, same thing, email, letter. And then if it's canceled for non-pay, we will notify the lender. We will send them a letter, and we also send them an email. So how it works, this is how it works basically if you want to do a quote. So you log into our system, it's instacover.com, partner login. And what you're seeing is a drop-down asset, which again, we pretty much cover everything but logging, watercraft, drones. But so what you do is you just choose the asset class. The one that we have here is automobile, and automobile / garage, let's just say. This is our example. So we've chose automatic or automate, why can't I say that? Automotive garage. And let's just say the description is a brake lathe. So you're just going to type that in. If there's a serial number associated with it, you can also include that. And then you're going to enter the value. So here we've entered the value of $5,000. And then they also have a tire balancer that's worth $3,500. So we're going to enter that as well. And so we're going to put in, so you'll see where it'll add the total cost, which basically adds the total invoice value for you. And then we're just going to get the quote. So basically what it does is it gives you the monthly option, the quarterly, the semi-annual, and the annual. We do a full term as well. And you check all those boxes because this is what's going to print out on your quote form. So it comes up with the monthly premium. And also what it does is it defaults to a $0 deductible. That's another big one, because most likely your lessee has a deductible on their, if they currently have insurance. So ours automatically defaults to 0. And then you can put in like a $500, $1,000 or $2,500 deductible. And you can see the premium go down, but right now it just defaults to 0. So we're just going to leave it at 0. We do offer both property and vicarious liability, which basically protects the lender if that's what they require to be listed as additional insured. That's why there's 2 columns here. One is if sometimes if you're just doing an EFA, it can be just property only. So you don't need the liability. So therefore you would just choose the property only. If they do require to be listed as additional insured and the liability, we offer 1 million liability in limits. That's standard. And that's the second column there that lists the liability and the property together. And then all you're going to do is save it. So you type in whoever the lessee's name is, and you just click on save. And then this is the basically the quote form that you're going to print out, or you can PDF it to the lessee. And it basically lists the equipment, the value, and then it lists, the premiums on a monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, annual. And it just lists those out so that they can, have an option how they want to pay for it. So if you get this back and they do want the insurance, you just log back in and then you'll just click on the quote and you just click on purchase coverage. And then that takes you to this screen where all you do is you just put in the lessee's name, the location of the equipment, and then it will tell you the funder information is below. And then over to the left is where you put in the lease or finance term. And when you click on the information, this is, well, let me go back real quick. I don't know if I can go back. Okay, I'm going to show you this real quick because down below where it says funder information, we have a box here that when you click on the box, it lists every single lender imaginable out there. And when you find the lender and you click on it, it will automatically populate their address for the certificate when you for the lost payee section at the bottom of the certificate. So it automatically prints that for you. And then over to the left, you're just going to click on the lease term. So anywhere, and then there's also other buttons. So if it's like not 12, 36, 48, or 60, you can actually put in whatever the term is. If it's 84 months, you can type that in. Another thing that's really important on our certificates is that it's good for the term of the lease, which is amazing because most of the time, what these lenders are doing is they're chasing down certificates every 12 months for renewal. And that can be a real royal pain. Again, because a lot of times they don't get them back right away and they're just constantly having to follow up, which takes so much time. But our certificates are good for the entire lease term. So if you put in 60 months, there's no such thing as a renewal under our instaCOVER program. So that certificate is good for 60 months. So once you click on the funder information, put in the lease term, their address, location of the equipment, the next screen is just the billing screen. So however they chose they wanted to be billed, whether they wanted to be billed by a credit card, ACH, or invoice, you just click on that box. And then I'm gonna go back real quick. And then all you're gonna do is it will bring up either, a credit card information. So you just type in the credit card, or it will pull up a bank and you just type in the routing number and account number, Or if it's invoice, because they want it quarterly invoice, you just click on quarterly and then invoice. And then what happens is after you enter that information, it takes you to the final screen, which now will say that it's now processing, it's printing your documents. And then you're finished. And there's your certificate. So basically from, the time you quote it till the time you, purchase it, it can only take 5 minutes to get a certificate. So from there, if you're a broker, you just send it off to the lender, and then your lessee automatically receives a welcome email from instaCOVER welcoming them to instaCOVER. It basically gives them a link to click on to get their certificate. It will tell you how much their premium is, what date their payment's going to come out, and how it's going to come out. And basically that's it. This is my, my information, but that's all there is to it. And the other thing about is not only do we do the online platform, but we can also, if there's any lenders on here and they want to do like a force place, we do have a lot of lenders that do force place where they just put in their own information, their own billing information, and force place it. We can do aggregate billing, which means that you get one bill for all of your leases. And then you can basically put that insurance charge into the lease or finance charge. And then you can tack on a little, like an admin fee on top of that. So that's another way to do it. So there's just several ways. And what I usually tell the brokers is that not only is, even if they have insurance, instaCOVER is kind of an added value service where you can give your lessees an option to include this in with your documents, and they can do a comparison as to what it would actually cost them to add the equipment to their to their existing policy, or would it actually save it, basically save them money by just, using instaCOVER for their equipment, because I know a lot of times when they add their equipment onto their existing policy, their rates go way up. If they have a claim, they can be dropped. And a lot of times too, on these lower asset values, they might have a $2,500, $5,000 deductible, and so again, with a $0 deductible, that makes sense, especially on some of the lower asset values. So I always tell brokers, just make it a part of your docs process and put it in with your documents, and you'd be surprised at how many people take it, even if they, already have the insurance. So that's kind of how the program works. We also use, we are right now partnering with Lease Team, so that any of our existing lenders or brokers that use Lease Team, can now have access to the instaCOVER program. Will be integrated with Lease Team, which is huge. And we also are working with a new tracking program that we just launched with a tracking partner that can track all of the leases and keep, track of all of their the certificates. And that's, a really great program for lenders that want to keep track of all the certificates and make sure that, that all their equipment's insured. So there's several, it's not only are we just an online platform, just enrolling. We can also, like I said, do tracking, and we can also, do easy quotes through being combined with LeasePath as well. So we got a lot going on, and I didn't show you but the title works the same way on the platform. You just enter the truck or the trailer, and it works the same exact way as I showed you on the equipment side. It's two different programs, but it's within the platform. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any, questions for me, I would love to answer any questions. If you want to get started with instaCOVER, just send me an email and I'll send you a program agreement. And like I said, it doesn't cost you anything to use the platform. And, the agreement is just that you want to use the program, and then I just will send you a username and password. And we can set up a join me so that you can watch me walk through it. If you know, to see how it actually works. It just takes like 5 minutes to set that up. We can set up as many logins as you need. If you have several processors, you know, each processor can have their own login. It doesn't matter, you know, how many you have. So just shoot me an email and let me know if you want to, you know, use the program, and I'll just send you an agreement and a username and password to get you going. So are there any questions at all about how the program works, or anything on Great American? If they do have claims, we have a claims number directly to Great American, and the lessee just, you know, talks to them directly and gets the process going. So we have that as well. And it doesn't take long for the claims process to work. So other than that, that's all I can think of. If you guys don't have any questions.
I'm not seeing any questions right now. If anybody wants to raise their hand, I can allow them to speak, or if you want to type something in the Q&A, we can get that answered that way as well. Give it just a minute.
Okay.
I do have someone raising their hand. So Michael, I'm unmuting you. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. There we go.
Quick question for the serial number. Do you have to have the serial number?
No.
Okay.
No, you know, usually only a serial number, you know, it will print out on the certificate, but it's not required. Sometimes, usually the serial number is only used in construction. You know, but it's not, no, you don't have to put it in there. It's basically up to the lender if they require a serial number. Some do, some don't.
Exactly.
But
okay.
But in order to get a quote, you don't have to have a serial number. You can just skip right by that box.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Great. Well, I don't see any other questions. So I guess with that, we will round this out. A big thanks to all our participants, and especially our valued associate member and gold sponsor, instaCOVER. Thank you for a great job, Christy. We look forward to having everyone again at the next Meet the Funder/Associate webinar. We invite everyone to meet with instaCOVER in person at our annual conference coming up this September in Nashville. So thanks again for joining us, and have a great day.
Thank you, Monica.